The work in Stories Our Neurons Tell started from my money job, which is as a massage therapist, always, dealing with people's emotional states as it relates to their bodies. I wanted to pull that into my visual, my art world, and deal with how people process emotions and memories through their bodies. With the bathtub piece called Bathe, I wanted to create this kind of private space that the viewer needed to walk into. I wanted to use an older woman in the video because I wanted her body to have a certain amount of history to it, scars and wrinkles, to have a whole history of life present in her body. I wanted the viewer to have to enter into this private space with her and walk around it so that they were viscerally brought to this point of remembering all of the times that they themselves had been in the same situation, been in a bathtub, since the warm water, since the splashing, and so I wanted them to relate to her very immediately. With the piece with the chair, that piece was this plexiglass house that had no entrance to it, because I feel like a lot of times our memories are something that we freeze in our minds and you can't particularly enter into the memory and change anything in it. So I wanted it to be a closed space, but I wanted you to be able to see into it, and it was on wheels because the memory is something that we take with us through time. The woman nursing her baby was something that I felt like all of us could relate to, sitting in our mother's laps, and it's a very sensual experience, one of our first sensual experiences. I think that the video really activates the psychological space, and so I want the viewer to be brought to the work psychologically immediately, but then also relate to the work physically. So the performance, I feel like, was in its baby stages. It was a very new idea. I'd say the most interesting story I heard was this woman who had a scar on her lip, and she got it when she was about 2 years old, and she always thought that she had fallen. That was the story she heard. But her father, long after her parents got divorced, asked her when she was about 20 if her mom still threw things. And it turned out that her mother had thrown a fork at her father, and her father stepped out of the way and it accidentally cut her lip. That was really interesting. So I became fascinated with this idea that whenever you touch something or send something, that there's this traveling that message has to do through your body. And so your body is actually kind of telling you this story. And then by the time that you process it, it's your own perception of what the world is. And then you string all of those perceptions together, and it kind of becomes who you are or who you think you are. And so that was the basic idea this piece came from.